is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we have a problem.
And now, the Shock Factor segment of the evening, brought to you by Reverend Rick and author Brenda McCain.
You are now returning to the Let's Stay Together talk show.
All right. You heard that tidbit, that segment. Yeah, thank you, Tracy. I did. It takes a while to do stuff like that, but we've got a new segment that we're bringing in called the Shock Factor. We're going to bring in a relationship situation that just will shock you. And I'm going to let my baby just bring this one in about what we're talking about. Do you want to talk about that? Yeah, that's the only shock factor we have other than you here. But we want to bring this thing up because this was shocking to me when I found this on the air. So, baby, bring up the title real quick.
Whew. Man hires hookers and his own daughters show up at the hotel.
Y'all heard that?
Ooh, yeah.
This is shock factor. We talk about all relationships, and our thing is to know our glory. You've got to know our backstory. And so here is a situation, and I saw this on Facebook, where a man, he gets mad at his wife. He mad at her. So he figures, I'm going to go to Vegas. And while I'm there, I'm going to get me some hookers.
That's nothing new.
Every man don't do that. I don't do nothing like that.
I didn't say you, but that's nothing new.
And so all of a sudden, he goes and he decides, now, as he says in the story, this is the first time he's ever done this. Lord have mercy if I'm lying.
First time.
Lighten now. Shoot me. He goes and orders for some hookers. Hookers, not hooker. Not
Can I say it? Just can I say it?
Yeah, what?
Hooker holes he ordered.
Now, he didn't do a TJ and get a hooker. He got hookers. And as the hookers were coming in, he gets stung to find out that the hookers are his daughters. Now, I'm going to stop right there before we go anything else. We're going to talk about this a little bit. I mean, what y'all got to say about that? What do you say about a man? He go there and find out his daughters are the hookers.
That's what he get. That is what he get.
Prodigy, what you got to say?
I saw this article when I was going through Facebook, and I read it, and I was just, it was mind-blowing. Like, of all the people to show up your daughters, and then as I kept reading it, it was just like, it wasn't like justifiable that that's the lifestyle they chose because he was so hard on them, but it was one of them things. It's like, yeah, I've seen people whose parents was hard on them and they go down the wrong path, and it was just one of those, like, I know it had to be a life-changing situation for him. I feel like his life was just, I feel like he didn't know what to say. I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, he supposedly fell to the ground
and
it had an attack when he saw it was his daughters that he had not seen in a while. And so now this is the first time you meet your daughters, and all of a sudden you see them and you find out they're undressing in front of you. Now, when they found out it was the father, they ran out embarrassed. Now, what you embarrassed about?
Right.
You mean,
Oh, wait a minute. Let's just really break this down.
Yeah.
They still have morals, Rick. I could be a hooker hoe. I don't want my daddy seeing me hooking or being on the pole.
And that's what they were embarrassed about. It wasn't that they were embarrassed about that. They just were embarrassed because their dad was sitting on the other side of the door.
That's it. And he was embarrassed because Dad, my daughters know I solicit prostitutes. That's what you get.
Wait, Brenda act like she know this man personally.
Yeah, don't she? Like
I know Mr. McDonald. I do. Mr. McDonald.
I mean, as a mother of 4 girls, I can only imagine.
You don't want to imagine that.
I mean, Daddy must have had like a heart attack. Did they say what kind of attack he
had?
had?
Panic attack, yeah. And the bad thing about it is that he had to realize that there was no dollar menu on this McDonald's treat that he was going to get.
and it's almost like karma. Like you say, according to him, it's his first time I'm getting me a hooker. I order 2 for the price of 1. And I come up with the Daily Daughter Special.
Yes, a Daily Daughter Special. The DDS Special from McDonald's.
Oh, my God.
And, the crazy thing to me is that I think Mr. McDonald said, this must be God getting back at me.
It
know,
is.
and but now he says that I told them I'm sorry, I apologize for my actions, and I said I just wanted my family to be whole again. He wants to patch up things with his daughters. Yeah, babe.
Okay, let's dissect this right now. Mr. McDonald decides, I need to get away. I'm going through marital problems. I have to give you the backstory to lead up to the daughters. I'm going through marital problems. So you know what? Me and my wife, we going to counseling. We got a situation going. What I'm going to do is go to Las Vegas. And I'm going to do something I've never done before. Because you know what? I need release.
That was problem number
I need
one.
releasing. Thank you. So I'm going to go to Las Vegas. I'm just going to order up like some chicken wings, 2 hooker holes on the menu. And when they walk in, it's like, you have to be freaking kidding me. My daughters, like I said, both of them was embarrassed. Daddy know our profession now. Now let's dissect it again, Red. Why don't you know you have 10 kids? You said, I'm assuming they by different mothers, because you said, I haven't seen them in 3 years. They've been estranged. They just left the family. Okay, why haven't you seen your daughters in 3 years? One child is 20, the other's 23. That means that child left at 17, the other left at 20. You, the father, that said, I put pressure on them to take ballet classes because I didn't want to pay for them.
I don't think that ballet was the only
Thank
problem.
you. So you justifying why you coming up with hookers and prostitutes. It just don't add up, Mr.
And it's
McDonald.
like he's talking about like I want to fix their relationship. You cannot fix a relationship in 5 minutes, especially not in a situation like this.
But see, they cool though. They cool, he said. My relationship with my daughter's cool. I'm still going through counseling with my wife. Now I'm like, that's a problem right there.
Okay, I'm kind of confused too. I mean, I've never ordered a hooker or been a hooker before, but don't you usually get a name or something?
What if they don't use their real name?
Oh,
though?
that's true.
Yeah,
I didn't think
You
about
could've
that.
thought he
Okay,
was
Mr.
getting
Smith.
Samantha and her name could be Christina.
No, I was thinking they were going to see Mr. Smith. So,
Oh.
Okay. So that does make sense.
Well, I mean, we don't know if he used his real name because
Right, that's what I'm thinking.
you'd have
But
walked
it's
in
a
and
lot
like,
of people with the same name.
yeah, but I'm if I'm walking in the door and I'm gonna meet Mr. McDonald and I know that's my last name, I might want to make sure. Is his first name Henry?
Exactly.
You're gonna ask some questions or something like that.
And how far did you get in that room?
Yeah, and his name was Titus,
She
by
was
the way.
standing right at the door with her little bikini on. I'm like, Lord Jesus. Like, he should have fell out for real. It's like, you looking at your daughter?
It's a shocking experience when you see your daughter, and it makes you wonder, and now the thing that really tickled me about this thing, and we're not going to stay on it for long because we've got a battle that's coming up, but the thing about it is that he said, now this is what McDonald said. Now he said this must be God getting back to me, but he says, McDonald said his daughters plan to continue to prostitute themselves. You seen your father, and that doesn't get you a revelation that maybe you shouldn't do this.
Because God only talked to him, not
right. But he says he okay with that.
You gonna love and
He
support
ain't have a
him,
choice.
He says if this makes them happy. Now God just got on you to stop you from doing something. But yet he's not gonna trouble your spirit to say, I don't want my daughters prostituting themselves. Whatever makes them happy. And that's why I say a lot of times people throw God into situations where they don't need to. God must be no.
I feel like the issue is like he already feel like it's his fault because he tries to force ballet on them. So I feel like he think that if he forces this on them, it's just gonna make. I'm serious, like he's gonna make the situation worse. Like they grown now.
Yeah.
He can't tell them you can't do that because what are they gonna do? Get up and leave again?
Yeah.
And if they are accustomed to this
Prostitution.
lifestyle, if they loving the life they live, because it's easy for them to do, they not gonna give it up because they ran into their dad.
I'm gonna tell you something. If she don't make Black Swan, don't you sit there and make ballet classes because the next alternative is prostitution. I mean, come on now. This is such of a crazy story to me,
Well,
that something like that can happen. You almost wonder, is it true or not? But the scenario of seeing
I
your
can see it being
daughters,
true.
seeing your daughters as prostitutes, and it doesn't change you, because he ain't never said he ain't going back to Vegas and get no more.
That's true.
He didn't say he may have just
did you got a friend?
he probably rolled the dice again. Hey, I can't get snake eyes twice now.
Right.
And he know they ain't gonna come back.
And
Right.
it didn't change them. So I mean, it's like, why put God in a scenario where there's no change and you still gonna be doing the same? People, watch out when you want to just throw God in it. Like throwing God in there is gonna make you seem like you're doing something nice. No, God is not a respected person. He's not going to let you sit there and use his name like, oh, well, I cheated on my wife, but God changed my life, and now I'm not going to do it again. But yet you find out that this person is going again to Las Vegas to find a hooker. I mean, you can find them anywhere. You don't have to go to Vegas. It's just, you don't have to worry about getting in trouble in Vegas.
Right.
But it's so many layers to this story. And I know we're not trying to do the backstory on this, but it's so funny to me. What stood out to most with me is father of 10. I'm gathering that they are not all by his present wife he going through the problems with. If you don't have a close relationship with your daughters, if you haven't talked to them in 3 years, you don't know where they at. And then after upon the daughters coming and see that was their father calling them up, like Tracy said, they didn't say they was quitting their job. They went to a casino bar. They probably trying to get some old, solicitor. So it's like, hey,
just missed out on some money.
we got to we got to make our money and stuff. And then with him, he probably did feel, because he said he blames himself for everything. That the reason why they probably turned to that because he was so hard on, and that can be true. But the thing is, your butt is still in a hotel room because you have to get released from the problems you're going through, ordering up hookers.
And then he reverted to the counseling. And I know everybody don't think right away like, oh, let's get in counseling. But if you had to just get counseling, well, maybe this was a good thing. Maybe it reunited him with his daughters and they fixed their relationship.
Well,
Maybe
reunited him with his daughter. You ain't heard nothing from the wife yet. He said he going to counseling. She probably like, we ain't going nowhere.
Yeah,
because you go there now. The wife has to get over the fact that you went there to find a hooker.
Right.
That's right. And Lord, God forgive, they were her daughters that he found.
Right. And we don't know that part,
Right.
and all of a sudden now it's my daughter. So now I got to get over the fact that my husband went to find a hooker and find out also, doon,
Right.
my daughters are hookers. That's got to be rough. But go ahead. You got something you want to say over there, Trace?
Yeah, I was going to say, we're laughing and making light of this, but I did receive an email, and it says the prostitution thing is unfortunate in that the money is the driving force behind it. If the dad could eliminate the money part of that, the girls would find other employment. Education plays a part of economics, and the money in prostitution cannot be matched with little to no education. Employment opportunity is greater with more education, so I would say the money is the driving force for these girls. Unfortunately, the risk to safety and health is far greater in prostitution. If the girls can pay for their education from prostitution or pay for a way out of the prostitution from their earnings and get a career or business venture, the time is well spent. They can only do this for so long.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well, does that sound like someone who has a knowledge of prostitution or something? But it's like, the fact that would be something that you feel is a something that you want to do. And you don't ever want to have anyone to think that the prostitution is a thing. We're making light of it, but the serious part of it is the fact that prostitution should not be something that you decide that this is the only way I can make money. And it is better not to make the money. I mean, okay, you're a beautiful person, you think you have a gorgeous body and stuff like that, but sharing it with everyone depletes the value of who you are. And so for those young ladies, we just want to say, who are probably not listening to the show anyway, but for any young lady that is never the way that you should go through it. And fathers, don't go to Vegas for any kind of prostitution situation. Though it's readily available, don't do that because you might run into your daughter too. And you might wind out,